Right, so I'm just reacting to the news of Brian Daboll getting fired from the New York Giants. There were a lot of names being thrown out in the last hour or so about who could be the long-term replacement. A lot of big names. Mike Tomlin for the Steelers was interesting, especially if this Steelers situation keeps going south, which, got to be honest, it looks like it is going to keep going down. I mean, I'm sorry, but it just looks like it's the same story over and over again with the Steelers. They just look like fool's gold that are being cobbled together, like they're cobbling together a bunch of W's the last several years with duct tape and super glue. I mean, ever since Big Ben retired, that is a revolving door at quarterback, and the defense keeps underperforming for some reason. Even though they've got a Hall of Famer in TJ Watt, they've got good leadership in Cam Hayward, and it's baffling. I mean, I think Joey Porter Jr. is on that team still, right? And he's been producing, but I don't know. It's a curiously bad mess that's brewing in Steelerland. Another name that I liked for the New York Giants job was Lane Kiffin. It would be a huge change for Lane going back to the NFL. I mean, I think that he's probably tailor made, and he said he's tailor made for college, especially at Ole Miss, because he really likes the lifestyle there. But I can't help but wonder, he coached Jackson Dart in college last year. I can't help but wonder if he's at least a little bit curious about getting his feet wet one more time, just like how his dad did when his dad became an NFL legend in the NFL. What if he has that inkling? Now, if you're the Giants, if you want to make that happen, you got to pony up because reports are that Lane makes about $11 million a year at Ole Miss, and if I'm Lane, I need at least a $15 million a year salary, at least a $15 million a year salary, especially when you factor in taxes at New York compared to Mississippi. I mean, to me, that's the starting point that I need to have for my guarantees if I'm going to come coach my guy that you guys drafted. But I just thought about another name off the top of my head, and this is from nobody else. But what about Bill Belichick? I mean, last I checked, Bill Belichick helped create a Hall of Fame defensive scheme for the New York Giants back in the 80s, and all that did was help them win 2 Super Bowls. They were led by Bill Parcells, but Bill Parcells, even to this day, would have to admit that he doesn't get the hardware that he has on his hand without, obviously, probably the greatest defensive player of all time in Lawrence Taylor, but also he had his Bill alongside him. And the fact is that we know that Bill has a sentimental value for NFL history and his NFL life. I mean, there's a lot of criticism, rightfully so, about what's happened to him over the last several years. But I can't help but wonder if he had an offensive guy come with him and he doesn't worry about personnel anymore, what if he does take the Giants job? And what is that for him?